Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Shrek, or rather it's the ShPTK TVP, which I call the Shrek anyway, because it's kind of ugly looking, very thin, very long, with a very big gun, well, 100mm gun. This one's located on the southwest spawn of Highway, and it's under the command of Bane Smash, and he's in platoon with two other tanks, a Barask and a G-Saw. One of them's called Bumbar. I'm not sure if that's a rude word. The other one is, I think, Bagoon. Well, you can see that Bagoon has gone out ahead and he's scouting for us. And Bumbar is actually behind us at the moment, moving up. Now, this tank came in on a, I think it was a, well, it was one of those marathons where you actually try to work as hard as you can to earn a tank on, I think it was on Battle Pass actually. It's a very narrow tank, trades the armour for its speed, 55 kilometers an hour, maximum speed, but it's got a 100mm gun, which with standard ammo is capable of 250 alpha, 270 mils of pen, and with the heat rounds it's capable of 330mm of pen. So very, very strong on damage, and he's actually loaded some HE to start with, 420 alpha, 100mm of pen, and he's going for that AMC AC-48. When he fired around him, he didn't get a hit, and he did get spotted, so he probably needs to stay down for a little moment, because that AMBT is looking to get a shot on him. Okay, pumps around into him, takes a round from the SU-130PM all the way up the in the east. So that didn't go down too well. He's lost half his hit points, really. Well, 1/3 of his hit points from that one shot alone. You don't want to get hit by an SU-130PM. Tries to go for a penetration on the AMBT, hits the roof of the vehicle, and it doesn't pen. He's actually now loading the heat to try and penetrate the AMBT's armour. Nope, didn't get the gun down on that one, and so he didn't get the hit. The EBR-75FL10 has gone all the way up the other end of the map, and he's now spotting for us, and well, Bagoon's up there as well. The AMBT's gone down, so now he's got the opportunity to poke on this ridgeline and do serious damage to the enemy. It's got 6 degrees of gun depression, so he can hop up here, but he's just outside view range to be able to get a shot. He's going to have to move a little closer, stay behind the tree line, then he should be able to hit some of those enemy tanks. The SU-130PM, the one who hit him, has gone down. But the good news is that there are still enemy tanks up there that he can hit, do some serious damage. He's just having a quick look to see what's available. Bagoon's gone deep, and he's starting to engage the enemy. Oh, he just took a hit. Okay, so we're reloading standard AP this time. Going up as far to the edge as we can. That's it. AC-48. Can he see us? Oh, that was a beautiful shot. Right into the view ranger, the range device. He actually thought about going for the capola at the back, which is just as easier penetration. You can see how fast this thing reloads. It's very, very quick indeed. The standard reload is 5.18 seconds by the book, but we can see here that Bates Match has managed to get it down to 4.29. Okay, first enemy tank coming back because they realise they're in trouble. It's a Lanson C. He's going to broach that ridgeline there, and oh! Long range shot, unfortunately it missed, but he's going for the camp panzer. He gets a hit on him, not much damage. He's actually loading the HE now. Can he get a shot on this guy? The Lanson should be able to. Yes! And he got 442 and he's still light. And he gets the kill shot. Puts him out of his misery, another 550. Okay, camp panzer. Yes, he does, but it's only 55 hit points of damage. And he gets the damage there, 198 with HE. He's electing to do virtually HE rounds on this bunch of enemy tanks. You wonder why he's not using the premium. Well, he does have 100mm of pen with the HE. Oh, yes, he went through the enemy brass there. We lost our platoon mate, unfortunately. And that guy's getting close. This is a glass cannon. You don't want to get hit in this thing if you can help it, but he's waiting for the reload. And he gets another hit into the Scorpion, but he needs to move out of here now because, yep, one of those enemy tanks, the Barask, is headed this way. He gets the kill shot on the Scorpion, but he needs the Rex between him and the enemy because, yeah, that's going to happen. He's just lost. In fact, actually, it was a low roll for both shots, because he's ended up with losing 60, well, it was below the alpha for 720, so 650 odd. But he's now he's lost a fair bit of hit points, and he's down to just, well, 28 for the rest of the battle. 26, sorry, 28. Okay, the enemy Barask and guard are moving up. He's having to retreat because he's got basically no armor, as I said. 65mm at the front of the vehicle, on the turret and the body, 40 on the sides and rear. This thing has no armor. In fact, he's aiming behind him as he retreats. Yes, this turret will turn the whole way round. In fact, it's the first premium Czechoslovakian tank destroyer in the game. You wonder, actually, if they're thinking about putting more in, because normally when they put a premium tank destroyer in, or any premium vehicle, it's because they're actually going to bring in a full range of tanks. But they haven't done so yet, so we have to wonder if they're actually going to do so at all. Probably will later on, but there might all be fake tanks. Now, it is basically a very lightly armoured support vehicle. It's supposed to be a traditional TD which will fight from the back of the map and take on the enemy and not get seen, because it is a bit of a glass cannon. You can see one of the enemy rounds that actually hit him on the gun, and another one on the reciprocator, and you can see a couple of rounds hit the sides of the vehicle as well. Okay, so he's managed to make it back to his cap area where his teammates are still located. Yeah, there's a few of them still around. I'm wondering if they're really active. Well, that Scorpion is. The other ones, I think they're just guarding the base. They're not actually taking part in the battle as such, waiting for the enemy to come to them. Same true with this Skoda, who really should be fighting at the front, but he's not. Now, the enemy team's only 4 vehicles left. They've got an IS-3, a T-26E5 Patriot, a Barask and the Guard. Well, we've met the Barask and the Guard, and we actually got hammered by them. But you can see that Benzamaj is still in the game. Both his platoon mates went down. I think it was Bengun went down first, and then Bumbar and G-Saw. Okay, he's looking both ways because he wants to be certain. That 6 degrees of gun depression really does work against them on this ridgeline here, because it means you have to go right up to the top of the ridgeline, and it gets you fairly well noticed. There's no bushes up here to hide behind. The Scorpion, just a little way away, has actually got a bush between him and the enemy. Question is the enemy actually going to make an attempt to come towards our cap? They have slightly less hit points than us and slightly fewer tanks as well. If they do try to make an attempt to come this way, they may suffer. Ooh, now the Guard's come into sight and he's fairly healthy. In fact, he's very healthy. Look at the stats for health at the moment. Well, Benzamaj is virtually empty of health. So's the enemy Barask, but the Guard, the Patriot and the IS-3 all have health. That Skoda is finally getting his act together and moving. Yes, this is probably the best position for Benzamaj to hold. That Guard may have been on a quick run, a scouting run, to see where our guys were located. 2% of his health left, that's all he's got. But it just goes to show how vulnerable this vehicle is to enemy damage. Both of those Barask shells went straight through. In fact, you know, he could have fired HE rounds and they would have gone straight through as well. And that's one of the things about the Shrek, as I call it. If you do see a Shrek, always consider using HE. You notice how he was using HE against the enemy as well. And that's because these HE rounds do have significant penetration. 100mm means that they could do a lot of damage very, very quickly to the enemy. He did get a pen on that Barask, when he hit him. Unfortunately, it also made that Barask want to kill him. So we could look back through those figures. You can see, oh, and here they come. He didn't get a pen with that one, and he's selecting the heat rounds now. Well, the enemy's just lost their Barask, and the guard is coming in this direction. Now he's just been hit, so we've gone over the ridge line. Gun's coming down, gets one pen. Potentially we've got a high caliber. Oh, lucky one. The guard got taken out by the Skoda before he could fire a round into us, because that would have been curtains there for Bain Samaj. Now there's only two of the enemy left. They are both heavy tanks. They were last seen in the town, and I think Bain Samaj is going to have a look and see if they're there. Now you'll be pleased to know this is part of a 2 replay video. This is the first battle, and we've got another one to follow up. Oh, the Indian Panzer looks like he's taking fire. I saw some ground being kicked up there. It might be that there's guys up there in the tree line shooting down at him. He hasn't lost any hit points now, though. Scorpion G's moving up to the town as well. Bain Samaj is going to try and shoot from here. Oh, found him. And he manages to get a penetration with the heat rounds and the IS-3. Go for it again if you can. No, he's behind the buildings now. He only got 253 hit points from that shot, but that is a high roll. More enemy in sight. Can he get a shot on either one of them? There's the Patriot. Oh, we just lost the Scorpion G. I think that... No, it was the Patriot who did it, actually. They're going to stay there until they go unspotted. Okay, they have gone unspotted. I'm not sure if they know the Indian Panzer's up there. If he can acquire them and just stay out of sight, then we might be able to do some damage, because I think they're going to keep coming towards the gap. They sense a victory. Oh, engine bait. Well, he got the side of the vehicle instead, but it took out the IS-3 for 106 hit points, which now means there's only one enemy left. It is the Patriot, and he's very healthy. Well, only 44% win rate the guy's got, but he has got a lot of health, so yeah, he could be dangerous. It also might be that he's a wallet warrior. I know that terrible term, but it is justified. The guy may have bought himself a premium tank and not know how to use it. The IS-3 player had to actually learn how to play the IS-3 to get it. Well, he had to go up the line to get the IS-3 at the very least. Okay, please just acquire the Patriot for us. Show us where he is. There he is! Center mass. Oh, and he's got a green light, but he's not shooting. You could shoot now, you know. He's going for the engine bay. Can he get a shot? Well, he should shoot, because he has got a situation. Yes, he gets one in. Can he get the kill shot? Oh, the kill shot gets kill stealed away from him. The Indian Panzer was waiting for the moment the guy went below his one shot, and he's out the game. But it is a victory. The reason why Bain Samaj didn't fire in that last round, that last target, the Patriot, originally, he was actually hoping that one of his teammates would put a round into him and then he would finish the guy off and pick up his top gun. But sadly, because the enemy went down to his teammate instead, he ends up getting just some damage on the Patriot and misses out on that top gun. But he did get a first-class tanker in the Shrek. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, one short of a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 5 exactly. He did get the high caliber because he did have 20% of the enemy hit pool and the highest damage in the game. And he got a Confederate as well for getting or hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate was 8,583. And if only he'd managed to get that last shot on the Patriot, he might not have got a whole lot of hit points out of him when he did hit him. but he would have actually picked up the top gun as well. I guess if he'd picked the right moment when the guy was still hiding and the guys were still approaching him, when he still had a sighting of him, then the others might not have been able to get a shot on him before Bainsmash could have fired his second shot in and get the kill. But as it was, he had to take the shot eventually, and well, they kill-stealed away from him. So it's unfortunate that he missed out on getting his top gun, but at least he had a good game. There you go, highest damage in the game, 4,925 hit points to Bainsmash. Second highest damage was the Barask, who took quite a lot of his hit points away, and his total was 4,576 hit points. And the third highest damage in the game turned out to be his own teammate. Yes, in the Barask, I think that was Bacon, wasn't it? He managed to get 2,242 hit points of damage. Well, no, Bacon's down here in that Barask. So, sorry, there was two Barasks in the game on his team, and it was a different one who actually did get the third highest damage in the game. In fact, actually, we can see the G-Saw for Red Wolf 47 is actually the real name, I think, of the player. He got 1,075 and Bacon got 975 in the game, but he did get 2 kills. When it came to kills, yes, he's definitely got that one. Bainsmash got 5 kills in the game. 4 kills went to the enemy Barask and 2 kills went to the Skoda T56, the Indian Panzer, who actually got the final kill of the game, and the T26E5 Patriot and the Scorpion G on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, yeah, he got that one as well. So he got the top in all 3 columns and just narrowly missed out on that top gun. 1,397 base to Bainsmash, 898 went to the Skoda T56 and 856 went to the Barask, who also picked up a Confederate in that game. He fired 24 rounds, got 21 direct hits and 14 penetrations. Not all of those HE rounds have got the pen to go through some of the armor on the vehicles. That's why he was looking around for that little dot to see that when it was perfect for him to get a decent pen. He did get a pen in the end anyway. 4 splash damage as well, 4,925 hit points of damage, of which 3,693, was that 83? It's 83, was at more than 300 meters. So you can see the majority of his damage was done at long range. But as I said, this is a glass cannon. You don't want to shoot at close range because this thing hasn't got the armor to stand up to repeated hits. Just about any shell will go through, including HE. He received 3 hits, he got 3 penetrations. 11 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, and he got 115 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium account, he earned a profit of 29,964 credits. Most of that went in consumables and ammunition. He did have to use some premium rounds sometimes. And he got 25 bonds for a mission achievement. He also picked up 4,401 XP from this game, so he did very well indeed. But as I said, this is not the only replay he sent us in, so let's have a look at the second battle. This time, in this replay, Bainsmash is on the north spawn of Prokhorovka Encounter. Game on! Well, it looks like he's going to defend on the west side of the map, and he's got another Shrek working with him. Now, he doesn't have any platoon mates, and yes, he's got that funny in-out motion with his mouse. I think some players do it, they're nervous, they don't realise they're doing it, but yeah, it can be rather annoying for people who are watching their videos, because of course we don't like to see going in and out like that too often, because it's kind of, well, gives motion sickness. He's gone up to the sniping position, but he's watching to see what the Shrek does first. And in fact, there might be an enemy tank who's just about to pop over that rise. And if there is, he might be able to get damage. A tree went down in the background. You spot it in the distance. He thinks that an Arty player would notice straight away. Now he's waiting for that guy to be stationary long enough for him to actually get a decent shot. Get it accurate. It's a very long range shot. Over 300 meters, no problem on that one at all, but no, he can't get a clear shot. The T20 pulled back into cover. He probably just popped up to see who was there, and as soon as he'd done that, he just pulled straight back down again. Probably wants the scout medal. Well, there are no light tanks in this game, so I'm not surprised if he did that. That Shrek down there has gone way down. Now the view range for this tank is 370 meters, so it's actually quite decent for a tank destroyer. But remember, it is a glass cannon, so you can't afford to get hit. I get the feeling that Shrek wants to pick up the spotting damage. He's further forward than the P-43 Biz. T-20 pops up again. It is an encounter game, so it takes twice as long to cap out, so we don't need to worry about the cap for the moment. But we must think about it when it gets to about halfway through. According to the mini-map, they've probably got a VK3002M in that vicinity. Now, I quite often play this map on when I'm in a tank destroyer, because I don't just play Arty, I do play tank destroyers and other tanks as well. And usually, on a map like this, when we've got an encounter battle, one of the good positions to be in is in the tree line at the north end. Oh, they just destroyed the VK3002M. Yes, if you can go to the tree line in B6, you can stop any enemy tanks from coming over the hill. If they do try to come over the hill, or even go near the cap, you can normally get a lot of damage. You spotted the ONI, pumps one into him, using standard AP. Guy's looking this direction. I don't think he can see us. And he's out the game. Lovely. Well, that was well done. He wasn't spotted, the ONI couldn't see him, and neither could anyone else on the enemy line. So even though he was firing through the bush, and he could see the target clearly, which means he wasn't using the bush mechanic when he fired, he still wasn't spotted. If that sixth sense had gone off, he would have had to have pulled back, no doubt about that at all. But he's got a nice little kill there. Well, he didn't get the kill, but he's certainly got a nice bit of damage, 782. That's a good start. Now the enemy does have an enemy tank near the center line, not moved into the cap. It's a tier 8 game with tier 6 tanks in it, so there's going to be a few opponents which we should be able to easily pen. Okay, T20. Nope, it's a little way behind, but it reloads very quickly. Nope, went straight over the top of the T20's turret. Don't let that discourage you, it's a very long way to fire. Oh, he got that one in! 265, it's a high roll. Remember, 250 alpha. Okay, they've got an SMVCC 867 at the back there, stopping our guys from moving forward. Not that our Super Hellcat wants to move forward that much. Bit concerned that our Tiger P is taking the position he is, because he could move forward. He's just not doing so. Now, there aren't Arty in this game. The enemy team's got an FV304. From the looks of it, he must be fairly close to our guys up on the hill, because he is shooting at our opponents, which kind of means that he's probably in K0 and shooting up, or maybe in J0, shooting at other teammates, because of course you have to remember that's a short range Arty. Target! Pumps one into the SU-100. Can we get a kill shot? Well, he gets another hit. It's a high roll, 264. This could be a kill. And it's not for him. Another kill steal. But there's the T20. He's popped up. And he takes another round through the turret. But we were spotted. So we had to pull back. And he didn't pull back quickly enough. And he's lost his driver. In fact, he's now taking damage from the T20, who's decided to get some revenge. And he's taken 252. Oh, 358. A lot of damage. We're down to half our hit points now. That T20 really got revenge. But he can't see us right now, so we are actually returning to the scene of the crime to do some more. Okay, we selected the AP. There's the T20. No, a little late. But they can't see us at the moment, just too far away. And the bushes are working in our favour there. Although they probably could see the gun flash, just too far outside their view range. And remember, they're getting spotted by our guys as well. Got an IS-6B down there. T20 pops up again. No, he was pulling back. Got to wait until they come forward before... He got it right the first time because, of course, he fired and the enemy target just moved straight into the field of fire. It's difficult when they're pulling back like that, and you have to aim behind them. And if you aim directly at them, the chances are the shell's going to miss, just go straight in front. Oh, we can now see where the FB304 is. We just saw that, and he can mark that on the minimap. He's actually right at the top of the hill, shooting at our guys from around about grid square H0. So it's one of those little things you can spot. SMV CC67 goes for lower plate. Yes, gets a hit. Go for it again. Keep pumping those rounds in. And he gets the kill shot this time. It's only his first kill in the game. But he's already accumulated 2,265 hit points of damage. It's a significant amount. Yes, he's got one of these in out things going on, but he does get good all-round visibility. He's using that ability to pull back and take a brief look to see where everyone is. Okay, T20 pops up. That time he got it smack on. Exactly right. Aimed so that the guy just walked back into the shell. Nicely done. That was good. I think another thing you can see about Benzimaj is how good he is, that his name is actually in blue. That's not because he's shooting his own teammates. That's because he is a good player. He is just below the Unicum level at the moment, but he is getting there. A lot of players on what Arty Noobs are Unicums, super Unicums even. You can normally tell which ones they are because they're either Arty players who've got 3 marks of excellence on their Arties, all of them, or they happen to be extremely good with heavy tanks and the like. Players like Oppenheimer, Filipperino, RNG is Toxis. Players who come onto the game and send us their replays regularly, and they're absolutely fabulous games. You learn an awful lot about how to play these unusual tanks. I like this. He's giving it a 3D perspective. SMV CC moves up. Now he did pull back, but he's going to have a go again. Gets a lower plate shot. 480. It's a low roll. Or high roll, rather. Actually, is he using the right... No, he's using armor piercing, yes. He's using armor piercing 250, so that was a high roll. Well, somebody's in the cap again. I guess they feel that with 5 minutes left in the game, they need to get somebody in there. Apparently, it's an IS-2 shielded. Now, this side does have adequate protection in terms of the IKV-65-2 and the Shrek. He could actually go over the other side of the battlefield and try and push them along there, but I think he's decided that he's actually going to push the battle on this side of the map and see if there is any enemy up here. Well, he's found one straight away, the IKV. Now, he needs his teammates to put rounds into that guy. Potentially a high caliber. He's been spotted. And he needs to get down into the dip quick before anybody fires at him. The T20 gets 1 round in. That's another bit of revenge from the T20. Obviously unhappy about losing so many hit points. And he is now one-shot, that guy. So if Benzimaj can pop up just for a second. Oh, he doesn't need to. What now? The kill shot went to the IS-6B. I don't think there's many enemy tanks on this side of the battlefield now. I think they're all over the other side. He pumps one into the side of the M6 as he pulls back. Can he get another kill? Yes, he does. 2 kills. Okay, he's going to push it now. Go over to the other side of the battlefield. Use these bushes. He might be able to snipe at any enemy tanks that happen to be on this side of the fence. Or the railway line, I should say. all the time. He's actually headed for the back of the map. Our guys need to get into the cap now and get that reset. Well, they've actually stopped the clock. Now, the enemy Arty might be up on top of the hill now, so... Well, we know he's on top of the hill. Oh, lovely! He gets a kill shot on the Strip 74 up on the hill. He was a one-shot. We're one up on the enemy at the moment, but we're going to be shooting at enemy tanks on our side of the cap area, so we should be able to get not only a reset, but possibly 2 kills out of this. Oh, gun down. Get the gun down. 1 kill. The IS-2 shielded. Go for the FP201. Hello. You're being hit in the rear. You're on fire. Not in a good sense either. He's gone. Okay. Oh, enemy RT. I told you he's up on top of the hill. But he's actually behind those bushes right up there. He could see where we are as we were shooting at the FP201. Okay, he's probably going to try and shotgun us. He's not on top of the hill. He does get a hit on us, but he goes down with 1 shot. And that's the end of the game. He's done it. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Benzimaj in the Shrek, the ShPTK TVP. It's not his first ace tanker, he's had one before, but it's nice to get one with such good results. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. This time round he got 5, but he didn't mind that he only got 5 because actually it would have been nice if he got that FP201 because it would have been a top gun if he killed the FP304 afterwards. But it just wasn't to be on this occasion. He did get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a FIFO effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He managed to get 10, and it's another game with a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate this time was 13,602, which is a particularly good Super Unicum standard for the Shrek. Let's have a look at team score. 5,019 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was the Barask on the enemy team with only 2,979, followed by the Shrek on our own team with 2,644. So he wasn't just sitting there looking pretty, he was actually hitting the enemy as well. When it came to kills, he got that one as well. 5 kills to Benzimaj, 4 kills went to the other Shrek, and 3 kills went to the IS-6B, who also picked up a Steel Wolf, so he was blocking damage, that guy. And when it came to Base XP, he's done it again. He's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,776, that's much more than the previous time. And the next highest scorer was under 1,000. He only got 937. 892 went to the IS-6B. 1,776 or 1776, which I seem to remember is a year of note to many people recently. Yes, that's a particularly good score, and that is an ace tanker. We should also note the IKV-65-2 on his own team got a Confederate, so he was being very useful. And yeah, they were the only 3 players who managed to get medals in the game. He fired 28 rounds, got 22 direct hits on the enemy, 22 penetrations, 5,019 hit points of damage, of which 3,596 were at more than 300 meters. He received 7 hits from the enemy, though, in that game. 5 penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 2 hits by way of splash damage. 3 of those shots, in fact 4 of those shots, I think, came from the T-20 alone. He got really angry that Benzimaj kept hitting him. And in the end, well, I think he was so frustrated. Whenever Benzimaj popped up, he thought, yeah, I've got to hit that guy. 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 3,235 hit points of spotting assist. That position really did help his teammates to get damage on the enemy. He also got 20 defense points as well for resetting the cap whilst he hit the FE201 and the other tank, which was, I think, the IS-2 shielded, which was in the cap. He earned 163,157 credits for the battle, and after resupply of everything, took away a profit of 89,158 credits, 25 bonds for completing a mission, and 2,930 experience points altogether. So yeah, that was a really good game. Nice ace tanker. shows what you've got to do if you want to get a decent score in the Shrek. I know I keep calling it Shrek. Some people call it ShPTK, but it's like other people called the Strivs the IKEA tank because, of course, it's flat pack. But yeah, I like calling it the Shrek because it's kind of thin, kind of long, and very deadly. So yes, I call it Shrek. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. The first one on the highway map where he managed to get a first class high caliber and a Confederate, and then the subsequent one on this map with an ace tanker high caliber and Confederate. And in both cases he missed out on getting a Top Gun, but I suppose he was less worried about missing out on the Top Gun on this one because he did so well. Please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.